I cried over pizza, which is, yeah, that happened. I was making it for the children I look after, and I cried. My hand looked really fat there. I literally cried over pizza. So yeah, that happened. Since I upped my breakfast, I sort of paid for it after that, I guess. Like, Anna was really bad. So I'm kind of excited to just spend time with people over the weekend and sort of regroup myself. My partner started to notice a few things earlier, and I didn't know whether to tell him or not, and my brain just jumped straight in and covered it up. So now I'm like, well, I can't tell him at all now because I've lied. Haven't lied, anorexia lied, but whatever. So yeah, I think for now I'm just gonna have to see how I go. I want to try and fix it myself, but obviously if I'm not doing okay by the time I next see the doctor, which is in 10 days, he said, like, game over, I've got to go back to eating disorders, which I don't want to do. So okay, short story, I actually got cut up there because he rang me. So yes, that's hopefully the plan, because I don't want to be that person that goes back. The hard thing is that everyone who's involved has basically seen this happen before, and I don't want to put them through it again. But everyone's sort of starting to notice anyway. Ideally here, I want to be able to go back to the doctors and be okay, but then at the same time my anorexia is quite competitive about it, and it's like, oh well, why don't you lose a little bit more before you go back, all of this. So yeah, I'm gonna go in, then gonna go pick my mum up. I might have a glass of wine if I can push myself to, because I know that might relax me for dinner, but again, alcohol at the minute and calories just isn't a good scenario. I can't cope with it. So yeah, anyway, I'll keep you in the loop. Okay, so I'm doing Josh's game for him at the same time. I just thought I'd keep you all in the loop like I said I was going to. I've got no makeup on. I actually look miles better today than I did yesterday. I ate really, really well by the time yesterday finished. After the appointment, I sort of started pushing myself a little bit more. Things were still not too great. Wanted to tell people but couldn't, and then Mum asked me like how the doctors went, and sort of said that she already knew to an extent, and so she was just waiting for me to say something. I thought she was going to go bonkers about it, but she was really good, and so was Dad. They were both very, very understanding and very like chilled out about it, and very much like, we'll sort it, don't worry, and things like that. So Mum organised to make her curry tonight, and have it like my mum, my dad, my sister, my partner and our friends. And I mean, Josh found it a bit difficult, I think, because he hasn't been in this situation really, because it's now a relapse instead of a blip, and I've never actually relapsed before. So in 4 years, that's pretty good, I think. And sorry, I just need to do this on the game. So in 4 years, I think it's pretty good that I haven't actually had a full-on like relapse, and it's just been like hiccups here and there, but it doesn't mean it's over. Demi posted something really good last night, and it's just part of the process. Like, okay, I messed up, I let myself believe I was okay for too long, but you know, it's okay. There's plenty I can do now to reverse it, in terms of just like eating a bit better and things like that. I feel very, very bloated facially today. I had a glass of wine last night because I actually thought, you know what, I'm gonna have one. So feel a bit bloated today. My stomach is very, very painful. I didn't think it was as bad as this, but when you eat like a bit more than usual, you start to realise how bad it is, because my stomach is like back to being unbearably like bruised, where you eat and then you have to like have a hot water bottle on it. Sort of take it one step at a time, have some snacks every couple of hours to sort of like stretch things out a bit. I think me and Mum are going to walk up to Costa and have a drink and half a treat together, which is what we did when I was first in recovery. So I came up with that one today. I said, well, why don't we do that? Because one, I've not spent enough time with my mum, and my mum is like my best friend to an extent. So we're doing that. My dad was really good with it. So yeah. But I think that was about it really. People have just been really supportive, instead of like, oh, you've let us down, which is what I thought they'd be like. But they're all just really supportive about it, and like, it'll be fine, we'll sort it. I let Wednesday know. I felt really bad because I'd just not spoken to her about it. But I just didn't want to let her down, didn't want to let anyone down. And so I think, you know, yesterday I had like 3 different opportunities where I nearly said something. I didn't. And then eventually, when my mum asked, I did. So, yeah. To be honest, I really thought I was going to have gained like a bunch of weight. Weighed myself in. I weighed myself at Josh's. And I know that they're kind of the same. Well, usually they're identical. So, I went to the doctor's today to weigh in. And it shocks me because I feel like I look better. But I don't know whether it's just like, I don't know, because I've lost again. And so now I'm thinking, am I tiptoeing? I'm tiptoeing around the problem here because he's going to come back from leave and I don't fancy my chances of messing with him. I know anorexia fancies her chances at trying to get him to listen to me, but I don't fancy my chances of him saying, no, it's fine, don't worry, we'll wait another week. I don't see that happening. I see him going, you're going back to eating disorders. So, plan of action is to sit down and have a snack whilst I'm doing my TMA and go from there. This is like a really low moment for me. I really just like feel helpless for myself. Like, I really want to do a bunch of stuff that I know is gonna like really improve things, like a few biscuits or something like that that's got the sugar levels in but also the pixie dust that I need right now. But I just can't. Like, I can do like fruits and veg and things like that, but at the end of the day it's not gonna do what I need it to do. And then you look at things and like, you fancy them but you can't have them. It's like, I've never felt hunger since I got ill the first time. So it's not a case of being hungry, it's a case of like, I guess like being hungry through your eyes, I think. So like, you look at things and you're like, I want that, and you can't. Okay, anorexia is like a really addictive illness when you start putting clothes on that are a lot looser than they were previously. Then it is really addictive. My hair is starting to look really dry, only on one side though, which ironically is the side that went bald when I was ill. So clearly that side of my hair is just neglected by my body. So today's actually been reasonably okay-ish. It's just a really lonely illness, because when you want to reach out to people, you can only reach out so much. It's like you almost want somewhere that's literally someone that's literally just like, it's okay, you can eat this, and sort of stands by you all day. But I don't want to do that again, because at the same time I want to do it myself. It's a big mess really, but you carry on. I made it up. It's one of those mornings where you literally look at yourself and you're like, have I gained weight? I feel like I have. I feel like I'm all chubby. I don't even know at this point. It's really hard because you've got one half of you that does not want to lose any weight. That's what's weird this time. Last time, like, I wanted to lose the weight desperately, whereas this time half of me wants to lose the weight and half of me doesn't want to lose the weight. It's all very confusing. Okay, so here's the deal. I woke up this morning and I felt like really shaky and rough. And now I ate really well yesterday, like I'm talking really well. I went to bed with the most unimaginable like guilt there is. Anywho, so I woke up this morning and I was like literally, I don't know if I still am, no not really, I was full on shaking, and I just felt really funny. So my eyesight kept like dipping in and out and I felt very dizzy, very floppy. That's the only way I can describe it, is floppy. So I sat down and I was like, right, let's just sit here, and I felt really nauseous. I didn't have a temperature or anything, knew I was fine, I just felt nauseous. I thought, oh, this isn't right. So eventually I like decided I was too cold. because I just was. So I went upstairs to change, lay on the bed because I went really funny at the top of the stairs, and I was like, right, I need to lay down for a minute. Laid down on the bed, and then the minute I lifted my arms to put my jumper on, I literally had to run to the toilet. It was like, TMI, 10 minutes of continuous vomiting, like continuous. It was bright yellow, and it was just, it was horrible. Okay, so I made a deal with the angel, being the doctor who is just the best guy in the world. Made a deal with him 10 days ago that in the time space, I think I've mentioned this anyway, that in the time space of him being on leave and this next appointment, I would have gained weight or stayed the same. Now, I'm not being funny here, but I thought I'd gained weight, okay? I'd eaten more, I wasn't really doing a lot, but clearly the devil won the deal. So, basically, that means that he's going to send me back to eating disorders, which I don't want to happen. So, the factors I have for him to consider at this point are, I have been eating more, Mum knows, Josh knows, everybody knows. I've not really been doing much. I'm doing uni, so that could be stressful. I've had morning sickness, not because I'm pregnant. I don't know why I've had morning sickness, but it's there. And one more chance. Now the problem here is I've been saying one more chance for 9 weeks, and 9 weeks of one more chances, I don't think he's going to buy it. So I'm not really entirely sure what to do or where to go from here. Wish me luck. Okay, full disclosure, I went to see my psychiatrist. Again, she's absolutely incredible. Honestly wouldn't know. Basically, I wouldn't know what I would do without these guys. My GP's incredible and the psych's incredible. I think I've done that. Hey, that's the cat. I think I've said that a fair few times, but I think they are like, I just don't know. They're just incredible. And basically, she suggested an eating disorder referral, as we'd previously discussed. And I said, like, no. And she was like, well, think about it. I said, if that letter comes through anyway, I'm not, like, even if I agree to it for God knows what reason, I'm not going. Even if you sent a letter out, I will not go. So then we sort of went into, like, a lot of detail as to why. She expressed her concerns for the fact that she's not really, like, trained in this field. And so I said, are any of the eating disorder professionals that I've been spoken to trained in this field? Because I've got more help and support from you than I have throughout I think it works out as about 10 years of being in, like, psychiatric treatment. I was like, it doesn't work. Like, let's just do this. And so she was really good, and she said, right, well, let's just focus on not forgetting any meals, so like not dropping a couple, so not doing like getting up late, not having breakfast, have a snack instead. Let's just get it to 3 basics before we start fully bringing up the calories anymore. I was like, yeah, that's fine. Weigh-in, she said, obviously a huge step, you're doing really well at that. Still a bit concerned with the thought patterns, especially because she knows my bipolar is probably getting worse because of anorexia, or the anorexia has been made worse by the bipolar. We're not entirely sure where we stand. So we're not upping any meds. I've got some sleeping tablets because I've been struggling with that, because I've been having like bad dreams. And then I ended up like scratching my hand in my dream, and it was a big mess. So that's the plan overall, is those sort of bits and bobs. And I've officially got a CPN, which is interesting. Never had one of them before. So I've got a CPN, and this care team that I've got together seems to be the best one I've ever had.